when you talk about don't take the Lord's name in vain, some of you just think that's just saying, like something negative about God. When really what it is when you take on the name of God as a child of God, it's when you attach I am to something negative. You say I am ugly. You just took the Lord's name in vain, because God's not ugly, and neither are you ugly. I am weak. I am stupid. I am not enough. When God says, greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. Hey, I'm Dr. Keith Johnson. I help men become dangerously confident in the 4 main domains of life: spiritually, relationally, physically, and financially. Thank you so much for joining us for the Dangerous Men Show. When you search the internet or scroll social media, you'll find so many people out there giving you their special strategy on how to succeed. But the simple truth is that only 20% of your success is going to be determined by strategy, where 80% of your success is going to be determined by your psychology. I want to take you live into my Dangerous Coalition mentoring group, where I teach on the Champion's Code, how to think like a champion. I want you to get ready for a bunch of inspiration, but most importantly, some transformation that's going to radically turn your life around. Let's go. David is our model of how God wants us to think. And I love David because he was a championship giant killer. He was a champion giant killer. He killed Goliath, but not only did he kill Goliath, he raised up other giant killers himself. You see, you can't reproduce who you're not. That's why if you're a leader and you got a church or you got a following full of broke people, you can't raise up what you're not. You raise up a bunch of people who think low about themselves, and you're frustrated. Why aren't these people changing? Why are these people stuck? Your followers are a mirror of who you are. You attract who you are. What you're looking at is yourself. But sometimes we have big egos. But if you're a real champion and you're a giant killer, you're going to raise up other people who kill some giants too. And David gave us a nugget of how champions think. He said, let the meditation of my heart and the words of my mouth be acceptable in your sight, O God. Wow, that's pretty deep. He said, let the words of my heart. Those are words that are not heard by the outer world. Those are words that you hear on your inner world. Your own self-talk. David understood that the key to being a champion, a supreme being with all the attributes of a winner, that champions understand how to talk to themselves. The private conversations that nobody else knows that you have. I know 3 preachers who can get up in a crowd of people and preach messages that you could peel the paint off the walls after they're done. And they'll walk off the stage and say, I did horribly. I did horribly. And you're like, what? All 3 of them, I know for a fact, coached them. People who you know who they are. In the evening, they're curled up in a ball of depression. Can't come out of their rooms. I walked into the room, curled up in a ball like a little baby. Wow. Can say great things from the mind, but have never done the deep work of the heart. That I don't need external affirmation, I have internal affirmation. God is well pleased with me because I hear his voice. I'm not looking for you to pat me on the back. I already know who's patting me on the back. God and myself God's my cheerleader, and I've converted to being a cheerleader for myself. That's what champions do. Champions tell themselves, I'm a winner. I'm going to win. Champions don't self-doubt. They mastered and conquered their own self-talk. Jesus has to be the champion of all champions. He said what? I am the light of the world. Wow. That's pretty affirming. He understood the power of I am. Whatever you say, I am, blank, is who you really are. And that's why when you talk about don't take the Lord's name in vain, some of you just think that's just saying, like something negative about God. When really what it is when you take on the name of God as a child of God, it's when you attach I am to something negative. You say I am ugly. You just took the Lord's name in vain because God's not ugly. And neither are you ugly. I am weak. I am stupid. I am not enough. When God says, greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. When Jesus said, the works I do, you will do also, and greater works will you do. Oh, I'm like a machine gun today, my friend. You're taking the Lord's name in vain when you say all this negative stuff about yourself. And when your life changes, when you change your personal I ams, and those I ams line up with who God is. God's not poor. God's not depressed. God's not a loser. God's not ugly. God's not losing. God's not a failure. If you take on any of those labels, now you blaspheme the Lord. You ruin the Lord's name. Jesus said, I am the light of the world. Then what did he say? Not only did he affirm himself, and some of you would have called Jesus arrogant and cocky. So some of you, the Jesus you love, some of you wouldn't even hang out with him. Some of the Bible heroes of the Bible, you wouldn't even hang out, you wouldn't even want to hang with them. Especially the book of Genesis, because almost all the Bible heroes of the book of Genesis were like radically wealthy. Radically wealthy. You wouldn't even want to hang out with them because of your own insecurities. Jesus said, I am the light of the world. Then he turned it around, right? He also said, you are the light of the world. Some of you I hope you're catching this, man. Some of you just need to say, just lift your hands right now. Listen to this. Say, I am the light of the world. Every environment I walk into, I light up the environment. Talk about this in this small book, powerful book, Champion's Code. It's The concepts are that you can learn, dive deeper into it, about 28 pages. And then the next part of the whole book is the champion's affirmations. It's time to stop lying to yourself. You're not operating at full confidence, and it shows in your body, your bank account, and your relationships. Every man hits that wall eventually. And here's the thing. Confidence is a skill, not some feeling. It's measurable. It's buildable. It's transformational. Take the Dangerous Men Confidence Assessment right now. It's free. Takes 2 minutes, and it'll show you exactly where you're strong, where you're being soft, and a plan to fix it. Go to dangerouscoalition.com/score. Don't guess, know. Your next level is waiting, but only if you're dangerous enough to face it and chase it. And then the next part of the whole book is the champion's affirmations. To reprogram yourself. Because what I did back in my mother-in-law's house, I started to realize, wow, if I have all these negative programmings deep in my subconscious or my heart, and I had a lot of minutes of negativity spoken over me throughout my life. I got to erase it all. So every 10 minutes is another 100 minutes of listening to something positive and erasing it. So I went in and I recorded 20 minutes. I did it. I laid it out. 20 minutes of positivity. Because I heard another report that said, what you listen to the first 20 minutes of your day will increase your, if it's positive, will increase your productivity by 27%. I'm like, wow, I need that. So I said, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into the studio, and all of these major areas of my life that we talked about, like I'm going to go in and I'm going to have affirming words. I'm going to speak it myself. Affirming words spiritually to me. Right? I'm loved. I'm accepted. I'm forgiven by God. I'm going to deal with my affirmations from a spiritual side. I'm going to deal with my affirmations from a physical side. I'm going to deal with affirmations from a professional side. I'm going to deal with affirmations from the financial side and the relational side. I'm going to set up 20 minutes where I do nothing but affirm these 5 areas of my life so that I get it out of here and I start changing and erasing those negative things deep down in my soul. And when I did that in 2002, my life changed. It just changed. It's amazing. And every client that I work with, I have them go through this same process for 30 days, 20 minutes. That same thing that I used to change my life, I now give to my clients, and whoo, I see a quick change. Things start happening really quick. With speakers, authors, and coaches, man, they start communicating with power and authority. They start taking off the limits of what's possible for them and how much money they can make. They start putting themselves out there and sharing their stories and sharing their messages. And people start getting attracted to them. Higher quality people start getting attracted to them because they're sending off new vibes that people pick up on. And people are like, man, I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of success. People want to be a part of success. Not depression, not poverty, not losing. People want to be on a winning team. And so I created this 20-minute affirmation which is part of this confidence code. All those affirmations are in the second part of this book of each area of your life. Then I went in the studio and I recorded them and I listened to them myself. My clients listened to them, changed their life. I still listen to those affirmations even to this day. And in this program, those affirmations are available to you. Now, what I want to do is I want to take you to page 26 of this book. And I want to give you 5 steps. 5 steps to developing the champion mindset. Okay? Step number 1. Identify the people in your life who infirm you. Or we use the word criticism cripples. So the first thing I want you to do is identify the people who infirm you. The people who always criticize you. And then I want you to ask yourself, how much access in my life do I give these people? See, some of you, the villain that poisoned your well still has access. Their voices still has access to you, and they still criticize you, condemn you, judge you, and infirm you. They cripple you. They keep crippling you. And they don't ever add any value to you. They don't ever say positive things to you. Every time they text you, it's something negative. It's never a consistent flow of positivity. It's always judgments, negativism, what you did wrong. And you got to ask yourself, am I going to continue to tolerate this? You choose the people you allow in your inner circle. That's why Jesus said, be careful what you hear. Guard your ears. Guard your eyes, what you see. Some of you are being crippled and infirmed by the news. You keep listening to the news, all the negative trash. You're taking in all that negative. If it's not people, you're listening to the negativity of the news. Some of you Christians out there who like, oh man, you buy into the doom and gloomers. All the world is ending, man. Just give it all up, surrender it all. The world's ending tomorrow. Jesus is coming back tomorrow. Who are you listening to? Who are you listening to? I don't think in those terms. I think in terms of dominating. I think in terms of it's time for us to take over. I think in terms of when the world gets worse, that's when we should be shining brightly. When darkness is trying to take over, it's the light. It's the light that the world needs, not for you to succumb to darkness and start talking darkness yourself. You are the contrarians. Ever feel like something's just off? Your body's slipping, your marriage is strained, and your income is stalled. And no one around you can push you to win. It's not your fault. You're just hanging out in the wrong circles. Ecclesiastes says, pity a man who walks alone, because if he falls, he's in trouble. So I'm inviting you into the Dangerous Coalition, an elite brotherhood for high-achieving men ready to dominate in every domain in life. Join me at dangerouscoalition.com and watch where God takes you in the days to come. It'll be more than you ever thought possible. Godspeed, my friend. How many hours do you spend listening to this negativity every week? And you really got to say, what do you need to do to spend less time around these voices? What do you got to do? You got to do something. You got to eliminate it. You got to cut these voices out of your life. Now you say, well, they're family members. Well, I say this. I say, here's a strategy you can apply. Reserve time with the negative family members for what I call C, A, and F. Reserve that time for Christmas, Easter, and funerals. Do your little thing for Christmas and Easter and funerals, and that's it. You gotta eliminate their ability to continue to try to poison you and cripple you. Step number 2, identify the people in your life that affirm you. How many hours a week do you spend with people who really believe in you? You know what's crazy? I find I believe in some people so much, and yet there's some people who don't have the sense to stay in touch with me, stay in relation with me. They have nobody else in their life who really believes in them. But there's something with them. It's their subconscious. They're pulling themselves back from the very people that they need to continue to hang out with, to be around. Somebody who inspires you for greatness. And you got to look at yourself and say, am I pulling back? Am I pulling back from the very relationships that I need? Or am I giving them more of my time? And so, step number 2 is identify those who are affirming in your life. Spend way more time. Spend as much time as you possibly can. Step number 3, stop making negative, judgmental statements about yourself. Stop it. One of the things that psychologists are proving right now is that because we have these cell phones and we scroll, people are scrolling on their social media an average of 2 hours a day. And because you're scrolling so much, you are activating your mind to make judgments faster and make them all the time, every day. Because when you scroll, you see a picture, you're making judgment, making judgments. So when you're scrolling, you're making judgments. And now you get in a pattern, a conditioning of judgmentalism. You're always judging. You're judging everybody else and you're judging yourself. That's why some of this problem we have in the world today comes a lot from social media. People throwing rocks at each other. People hating on each other just because of their differences of opinion. I hate you, you hate me. I don't like your politics, you don't like my politics. Race differences, throwing rocks at each other. Instead of celebrating each other, and most importantly, self-confidence comes when you not only celebrate others, when you celebrate your difference. Stop the negative judgments. Take a knee and accept what God says about you, God the Father. Step number 4. Daily make positive I am confessions. Every single day. And in the book here, I give you like 10 of them to make. I am worthy of success, happiness, and peace of mind. I am loved, accepted, and valuable. I am brilliant. I am beautiful. I am smart enough to do anything I want. I am sharp enough to figure out a solution to my problems. I am good enough. I am unique. I am a person of destiny. I am a winner. Wow. See, we got to change those I ams. But it's not just a matter of changing it. Oh yeah, I'm going to say that for one day. No, no, no. Remember, you need 100 hours to erase this out of you. Number 5, start each morning reading and listening to daily confidence affirmations in the Champion's Code. Every day, start your day. I'm not starting my day with the news. I'm not starting my day scrolling the internet, making a bunch of judgments, listening to maybe some criticism that someone has on one of the posts that I post. I'm not starting my day, right, listening to the news, scrolling, whatever. I'm going to spend the first 20 minutes of my day in a spirit of affirmation of what God says about me. And I am going to spend that 20 minutes being weaponized for my day so that when I go out in that day, like I told you, you're dominating your thoughts. And your thoughts, positive thoughts, when you think positive, you feel positive. You feel positive, you act positive. When you act positive, you get positive results. But if you want to take the other route, start off bad. Negative thoughts produces negative feelings. Negative feelings produces negative behaviors. Negative behaviors end the day with negative results in your life. Let's flip the switch. Let's realize we have control. We have dominion over our mind. And we control the inputs. We control the inputs. And if you can control the inputs, you'll end up controlling the outputs of what your life looks like. That's why 3 John verse 2, I have it on as a license plate on the back of my new Corvette. It says, "Beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, just as your soul prospers." Wow. Soul. Once you get prosperity going on the inside, see, I wish above all things that you prosper. What's prosper? That's outward. Outward prosperity in your life. Be in health. What's health? Outward. Prosperity on the outside. Your career, your cash, your connections, outside world. Beloved, I wish you prosper out here. Be in health, your body. Doctors say that 80% of all sickness is psychosomatic. Wow. Psychosomatic. You got messed up stuff in your heart that shows up in your body. I wish above all things you prosper outside, be in health, outside your health, physical body, even as, let's go deeper, even as your soul prospers. So you want to be a king? Well, being a king isn't about your ego. It's about serving your brothers. Because real leaders don't just sit there while their brothers suffer in silence. You've got guys in your circle in bad marriages, broke as a joke, drifting spiritually, and letting their bodies go. You know who they are. You probably thought of a few as I was saying that. So here's your next move. Hit the share and get 5 of them to join this men's movement. Because if you're really a king, you won't just rise alone, you'll bring your brothers with you. Inward prosperity of the soul. When this prospers, your outer world prospers, your health prospers, and you live a prosperous life. That's the 5 steps. And I want to challenge you. Champions love challenges. I want to challenge you. If you want to change, if it's to be, it's up to me. Nobody's coming to save you, my friend. The government's not coming. Your parents, they're not coming to save you. Your friends, your pastor's not coming to save you. It's up to you. God's already done everything He's going to do. He's provided everything you need to live a life of abundance. Are you going to do the deep work to change your life? I just gave you the thing that changed mine. When I discovered this whole thing, I broke open the code. And I told you the next 3 years of my life, my income doubled, my influence went up, my impact went up. I got out of debt in 3 years. My dreams started to coming true in 3 years. I was living the life of my dreams that I struggled for the first decade, hitting my head against the wall, blaming everybody else, blaming God, blaming the devil, blaming my parents, blaming how I was raised, blaming everybody. But the day I took responsibility, said, man, I got to go deep and fix this. I want to challenge you. Develop a new habit. First thing in the morning, 20 minutes. Get my affirmations in audio. Listen to them. You can also read them in the book. Listen in your ears. Meditate on them. Focus on them. Get them down in your soul. Get all that garbage of all those lies. That's how the enemy beats you, with lies. How do you win? How do you get free from a life you don't want? The truth will set you free. What truth? Of just how powerful you are. That's the truth. And it will make you free. Hey, I'm so glad that you're a part of 83K Nation. So glad that you're a part of my life. I learned how to kill my dragons and my demons. And I just gave you the weapon. I just weaponized you with the slingshot that you need to take his head off once and for all in your life. Here's the weapon. All I can do is offer you the weapon. I can give you the tools. You have to bring to this desk the hunger to do what is required of you. It's required. Success is your spiritual and moral obligation. It's an obligation to God and the world. It's your duty. It's not about motivation. It's about duty. It's your duty to become the weapon that God wants you to become. Godspeed and God bless.
You are God's champion, my friend, a supreme being with all the attributes of a winner. In this next episode, I'm going to be dropping my 20-minute confidence affirmation, the same tool that I've given some of my elite clients literally all over the world that's radically changed their life. Don't miss this next episode and listen to that episode 30 days in a row if you really want to transform the way you think. So listen, if you'd like to get the book, the link is down below. Stay dangerous, my friend.